Hey there. Let me tell you something fascinating about one of the most beloved fairy tales we all grew up with, Little Red Riding Hood. But fair warning, this isn't the sweet, innocent version you might remember from your childhood. You see, fairy tales have evolved dramatically over the centuries, and their original versions were often much darker and more disturbing than what we tell our kids today. Little Red Riding Hood is perhaps one of the most striking examples of this transformation. In the earliest known versions of this tale, dating back to the 10th century in Europe, Little Red wasn't exactly the innocent victim we know today. In fact, in some versions, she was quite the cunning character herself. But here's where it gets really dark. In several early oral versions of the story, Little Red Riding Hood actually joins the wolf in a horrific feast, unknowingly eating her own grandmother's flesh and drinking her blood. I know, pretty shocking, right? The story was often told as a cautionary tale about cannibalism and the dangers of talking to strangers. The wolf would trick Little Red into consuming her grandmother's remains by presenting them as meat and wine. In some versions, the wolf would even serve the grandmother's teeth as rice and her blood as wine. This gruesome detail was eventually removed as the story was adapted over time, particularly when Charles Perrault published his version in 1697, which is closer to the tale we know today. He transformed it into a moral story warning young girls about predatory men, symbolized by the wolf. The Brothers Grimm later added the happy ending with the woodcutter saving both Grandma and Little Red, making it more suitable for children. It's fascinating how this tale has been sanitized over centuries, removing its cannibalistic elements to become the bedtime story we're familiar with today. Really makes you wonder what other dark secrets our favorite childhood stories might be hiding, doesn't it? Sometimes the original versions of these tales can tell us a lot about the societies that created them, their fears, and their ways of teaching life lessons to the next generation.